Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rewind Sports Network, streaming on KSL Sports. I'm Adam Mason. Welcome to Viewmont High School, where this evening we got the Alta Hawks visiting the Viewmont Vikings in a Region 6 matchup. Alta coming in with an 11-7 record overall and 4-5 in region play, and Viewmont coming in with an 8-10 overall record and 3-6 in their in region play. Last game for the Hawks, they lost in overtime. I believe it was to, let's see who it was. It was an overtime game and a tight one to Woods Cross, and the score was 75-72. Colby Goodfellow led the way for the Hawks, finishing with 31 points in that battle. So a good overall game for Colby Goodfellow. And Crew Ekman had 12 and Hayden Anderson had 11. For the Viewmont Vikings, the leading scorer for the Vikings is number 13, Carson Tovey. He had 15 in the last game against Brighton, which they lost 48-41. Now, something to note in this matchup, the Alta Hawks are without their leading scorer, Dash Reiser, who has an injured right foot. I saw him walking around in a walking boot. So, he's missed the last couple games actually for the Hawks, so it'll have to be done by committee, and the Vikings will look to tie their region record with the Hawks. Starting lineups: number 1, Nash Lundberg; number 2, Hayden Anderson; number 22, Colin Hansen; number 24, Kobe Goodfellow; and number 34, Caleb Anderson for the Hawks. For the Vikings, it'll be number 1, Lucas Toner; number 11, Tyson Bromley; number 13, Carson Tovey; 15, Jake Larson; and number 25, Adam Henderson. And the Vikings will get the first possession. They are in their home white uniforms, and the Hawks in their black road uniforms. Wide open for 3, and splash for Jake Larson. He gets the Vikings on the board first. Inside to Anderson, taken away by Lucas Toner. Toner going to lead the break. Kick out to Tyson Bromley in the corner to Covey, so they work it around. And Larson with it now. Setting up to Bromley. Bromley now to Henderson. And a little pick and roll situation. Carson Tovey was going up. Looked like he was going up, saw the rolling Adam Henderson, and threw it out of bounds as Henderson thought he was going to shoot. So Lundberg trapped near midcourt, kicks it off to Anderson. Hayden Anderson goes in with the right hand, and it's off the back of the backboard, and a fight for the loose ball, and the Hawks could not come up with it. 3-0 early in this first period, 6:37 left. Tyson Bromley crosses the timeline. He goes around the screen, kicks it back over to Henderson with the push shot, and it's good. So early Viewmont leads 5-0. Hansen, free throw line jump shot is off the rim, and they're going to call Henderson with a foul as he was battling down low with Caleb Anderson. And indeed, they do give it to Adam Henderson, his first. That's the first team foul for either side. And a three-point shot. Oh, the rainbow is good for number 24, Kobe Goodfellow. So he gets the Hawks on the board. Carson Tovey. Now up to Toner as they work it around to Larson. Larson looked like he got he did call him with the travel. He picked up that dribble and just kind of dragged that pivot foot. Good call by the officials. Lundberg now, front court left side. Over to Goodfellow. Goodfellow drives inside, kicks it out to Hayden Anderson. Nice defense there by the Vikings. Nash Lundberg, free throw line jump shot. They're going to call an offensive foul. They do call that on Hayden Anderson. Larson, I thought he got away with the moving screen. Yep, they called him for it. Or not Larson, I beg your pardon, that's Bromley. That's his first. So second team foul for the Vikings, one team foul for the Hawks. Colin Hansen. Ooh, they're going to call a reach-in foul on Lucas Toner. That's his first. I actually thought that might have been all ball, but may have reached across the body, and that's what the ref called the foul there for. Ooh, Lundberg loses it. Gets it over to Hansen. Hansen's going to drive inside, and Toner takes it away. Oh, good defense there by the Vikings. Toner straight away. Now over to Larson. Larson holding, looking for Henderson inside. Got a mismatch. Jump hook in the lane. Bounces off the rim, and nice board by Colin Hansen. And they're going to call an over the back on number 15, Jake Larson. That's his first. That is the fourth team foul for the Vikings. And now they're going to call Kobe Goodfellow with an offensive foul himself. That's his first, second team foul. So the players need to adjust here. They've been calling any type of movement when you're setting those screens. So players need to make sure they're set, and the ball handler or the one who's getting the screen needs to make sure that the screener is set before he takes off. Inside Larson, out to Bromley. Bromley drives inside and throws it away, and Hansen, they're going to call a foul on the baseline. Let's see who they call that on. They are going to call that on Tyson Bromley. That's his second. The issue now is that you're putting, with 4:08 left in the first period, just about the halfway mark, you're putting the Hawks on the free throw line.
Two shots coming from Colin Hansen.
Hansen's first shot rolls in. So Colin Hansen gets on the board.
Brett Tovey in for the Vikings.
Hansen's second is good. So that's two for Hansen, and trying to apply a little full court pressure, and it looks like, they'll call it on number 15, Austin Larson, who just checked in for the Hawks. Number 10, Ashton Bennett will check in for the Hawks. Toner over to Brett Tovey. Tovey, as they work it back out Toner fakes one way, goes inside, and finds a cutting Jake Larson, who gets the bucket to go, his second bucket of the period. And the Vikings lead at 7-5. Beckham Welling now hands it off to Kobe Goodfellow. Goodfellow drives inside, loses the handle, and they're going to call a blocking foul. Did they call that on Adam Henderson? That's his second, so that's 2 fouls on him. Again, that puts the Hawks on the free throw line. Goodfellow's first is good. So checking in is Ammon Erickson as Adam Henderson goes to the bench with a couple fouls. Goodfellow's second is short, and the Vikings get the board. Over to Larson. To Carson Tovey. Over to Brett Tovey, and driving baseline is Toner, and they're going to call a blocking foul. I think on number, let's see who they call that on. It's the baseline official that made the call, so yeah, they'll call that on number 21, Beckham Welling, his first. That is the fourth team foul, so from here on out, the Vikings will be shooting free throws. And thrown away an intended pass for Ammon Erickson. So turnover for the Vikings. 7-6 is our score. Vikings lead it with 3:16 left in the first. Goodfellow, front court right side. He'll go to the left and almost throws a pass away, but recovered, but gets it over to, and a turnover as Austin Larson was trying to make a pass out to reset the offense. He's looking for Ashton Bennett, and it's a turnover for the Hawks. So Carson Tovey inbounds to Lucas Toner. Now to Erickson. Carson Tovey for three, and it's off the rim. And a loose ball is recovered by Brett Tovey. Toner now drives the baseline, kicks it over to Erickson. Erickson, does he lose it? Yes, the Hawks come away with it. And Larson just took it away from Austin Larson, or I beg your pardon, that is Beckham Welling. Oh, but there's a steal, and a lay-in is off the rim for Ashton Bennett. Oh, he'd like to have that one back. Carson Tovey loses it. They're going to call that out off Tovey. And the Hawks will get the ball back. 7-6 with 2:19 left in the first period. Checking in for the Vikings is number 2, Will Warden.
Will Warden checks in for the Vikings.
Hayden Anderson is going to go all the way. Kicks it out to Ashton Bennett. They work it back around to Hayden Anderson. Anderson drives inside. And a free throw line jump shot is in and out for Beckham Welling. And a fight for the rebound, and the Hawks get it. Bennett now over to Goodfellow. Goodfellow kicks it over to Welling. Another free throw line jump shot. This time it's true. So the Hawks get their first lead of the game, 8-7. Carson Tovey out to Will Warden. Now they work it back around. Lucas Toner may have gotten away with another travel, but maybe didn't drag that pivot foot. Erickson now over to Carson Tovey. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Toner is going to go around the screen of Erickson. He pulls up for three. It's short. And Ashton Bennett gets the board. He gets it out to Austin Larson. Larson's going to drive the baseline. And good cut off there by Lucas Toner of the Vikings. Now to Goodfellow. Goodfellow goes right, just inside the three-point line, and it's off the rim. And good board there and the three-point shot is off for Lucas Toner. And Bennett crosses the timeline, gets it over to Austin Larson. Larson inside to, and thrown away as he was trying to save it was number 21, Beckham Welling. 29 seconds left, shot clock is off. And checking in for the Hawks is number 13, Crew Ekman, who had 13 points in his last game against Woods Cross. Toner now, just letting the clock run down to Brett Tovey, back to Toner in the right corner. Toner, he's gonna drive the baseline and passes it to Carson Tovey, who almost gets the bucket to go, but he is fouled. They give that to Kobe Goodfellow. That's his second. And Carson Tovey's first is good. That's his first point of the game. And his second is good as well. And a heave at the end of the first period is no good for Austin Larson. So, the Vikings will take a lead at the end of the first quarter, 9-8. We'll be back in just a moment on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back to the Rewind Sports Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Tab Bank, home of the Tab Spend Rewards checking account with 2.75% annual percentage yield on your account balance and 1% cash back on eligible purchases. It's a big deal. Member FDIC. Ekman. Now to Hansen. Hansen open for the jump shot, and it's short. Nice board there by Ammon Erickson. And a three-point shot is good for number 5, Brett Tovey. And that bucket is off. And a loose ball. And Carson Tovey will settle things down for the Vikings. The Toner now to Brett Tovey. Brett over to Carson. So working around, Toner's gonna drive inside. Finds a cutting, Brett Tovey for the layup. And Coach Orn wants to talk it over as Viewmont jumps out to a 14-8 lead. 5 straight points after back-to-back possessions for the Vikings. And now Brett Tovey, who went scoreless in that in the first period, has 5 in this. We all love spending time supporting our high school teams. Waddup's Insurance Agency is the team that will support and help protect you. Whether it's your business, home, rental properties, cars, or recreational vehicles, Waddup's Insurance Agency is the local insurance pro you can count on. Call or text them at 801-683-3663. Again, that's 801-683-3663 to evaluate your insurance program. We'll see what adjustments Coach Orn makes. It's not that the Hawks haven't had some good looks, they just haven't gone down. But the Vikings have been executing well on both ends of the floor. Hansen, now to Austin Larson. Larson goes inside. Has to kick it out, gets it to Lundberg. Lundberg drives in, nowhere to go. Goes up with the right hand after the spin move. Gets his own rebound. Reverse layup with the left hand is good for Nash Lundberg. Way to stick with it there. And I think the Hawks are now in a little bit of a zone and they get a steal. That's Gates Anderson with the ball to Welling. To Hansen. Hansen drives inside, kicks it in the corner out to Anderson. Gates Anderson, that is. And Austin Larson will reset it for the Hawks. He goes around the screen of Welling. Kick out to Lundberg. Lundberg, nowhere to go. Looks inside to Welling. And nice defense there by Ammon Erickson, the 6'5 senior for the Vikings. Hayden Anderson will check back in for the Hawks. Goodfellow and Anderson are the leading scorers outside of Dash Reiser for the Hawks, so see if they can get Anderson going a little bit here in this second period. Lundberg loses it. Shot clock winding down, has to put it up, and it's off. In the corner for three. Splash! For Zenton Wilson. And Hansen with the jump shot. That is a 2-point shot. Nice answer for Colin Hansen. He gets his fourth point. 17-12 is the score. 5 minutes left in the second. Nice defense there by Welling. The Vikings get it back. Carson Tovey for three, and it rolls off. Oh, it was so close. And the Vikings will regroup. Lundberg goes for the steal. Carson Tovey kicks it back out for an open three, is way off the mark for Will Warden. And Hansen comes away with it. He drives inside. Might have traveled there. Welling. Now to Lundberg. As they trap him. Nice defense there by the Vikings. Good help and recovery. Hayden Anderson with the jump shot. Well contested, and it's off. Will Warden now out to Carson Tovey. I beg your pardon, that's Brett Tovey. Zenton Wilson with another three. Money!
Wilson for three.
That's the third three of this period for the Vikings. Colin Hansen inside the three-point line, and it's off the right side of the backboard. Carson Tovey back to Brett Tovey. He'll take a three. And Hansen gets the board. He crosses the timeline. Lundberg for three in the corner, and it's off the front of the rim. And a kick to Brett Tovey, who loses the handle, but it was knocked out of bounds by Colin Hansen. So we got a lot of players checking in for both squads. And now another three-point shot is down and good for Tyson Bromley. And the Vikings take their first double-digit lead, 23-12. Jace Brown now trapped in the corner. Gets it back out to Kingston Brown for three, and it's short. Adam Henderson with the board. And they'll regroup. Will Warden now inside. Kicks it out to Bromley, back around to Wilson. And the bucket is good for Adam Henderson.
With the assist to Tyson Brown.
That's his fourth point. A little offensive momentum going for the Vikings. Lundberg, now to Hayden Anderson, who can't get it to go. And the putback is good for number 25, Kingston Brown. Way to stick with it there. 25-14. With 2:02 left in the second. Now Toner over to Bromley. Bromley with the left hand. The push shot is no good. And Goodfellow clears it to Brown. Over to Hayden Anderson. And a nice pick and roll. And they are going to call a foul on, is that Adam Henderson? Yeah, that's his third. In the act of shooting, so Kingston Brown will get a couple free throws. And his first is up, and it's good. So that's his third point. And Brown will get another. And that free throw is off the back of the rim. And Toner gets the board and he'll clear it. Inside is Larson, back out to Erickson. Now to Toner. Toner drives in, nowhere to go, kicks it out to Bromley. Bromley fakes the three, takes a step inside, and a baseline jump shot is good. For Tyson Bromley, his 5th point. Hayden Anderson in the corner. He's going to drive the baseline. Has an open jump shot, and it's off. Nash Lundberg with the putback, and it's off, but he draws a foul. I think they'll call that on Bromley. Indeed they do. That's 3 on Tyson Bromley. So he also needs to be careful. Maybe Coach Frey will also make a substitution here. The first for Nash Lundberg is good. Lundberg will get another. And it rolls in. So Toner now goes around the screen of Larson. Toner's going to drive inside, kicks it out for 3, and it's off. Toner gets the board, and he'll put a little jump shot up, and it's good. That's his first bucket of the game. 40 seconds left in the second. Okay, Henderson will now shoot for 3, and it's long. And the shot clock is off, 20 seconds left, and Toner will hold for the final shot of the period. Wilson now, or I beg your pardon, that's Larson. Larson, he'll take a jump shot on the baseline, and he gets it to go. And that'll do it for the first half. Jake Larson now with 7. Nice shot with the clock winding down. So that's going to do it at the end of the first half. The Vikings came out hot in that second period with shooting threes. And they put up 22 points in that period. We'll take a break here on the Rewind Sports Network. Mason, thanks for joining us here at Viewmont High School, where the Vikings lead at 31-17 heading into the third period. Leading scorer for the Vikings was number 15, Jake Larson. He had 7. But they had 4 3-point shots made in that second period for the Vikings. And the Hawks scored 8 in the first quarter, 9 in the second. And the Vikings scored 9 in the first and 22 in the second. So let's see what Coach Orn, what adjustments he made with his team going into the second half. Toner now to Tyson Bromley. And is there a clock issue? I don't think they started the clock. So are they going to have them take time off? Because they reset the shot clock to 30, or haven't moved the shot clock. It's 35 seconds still. And they'll put 7:55 on the game clock. And so that means they'll put 30 on the shot clock. There we go. So Toner will inbound again to Tyson Bromley. Bromley front court right side. Gets it over to Toner. Back to Jake Larson. To Bromley. Over to Ammon Erickson, who had a good first half. Larson now. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Kicks it over to Carson Tovey. And the loose ball, Ammon Erickson gets it, and the jump shot is off. And Carson Tovey gets the board to Toner. Over to Bromley. Bromley drives the baseline. Out to Larson. Back to Carson Tovey. Over to Toner. Toner nowhere to go, but gets it out and swing around for Carson Tovey for 3, and it's off. Nice board by Caleb Anderson. Just out jumped and took it away from Ammon Erickson. And Nash Lundberg can't get it to go, and he pokes it out of bounds. Ammon Erickson, thinking he might have got poked in the face a bit there. And checking in for the Hawks is number 12, Zach Reber. Bromley now with the left-handed yo-yo. Tries to go around the screen and will reset to Toner. Lucas Toner kicks it back out to Carson Tovey. And Bromley will pull up for 3, and it's long. And he gets his own board and kicks it back out to Toner. Swing around to Larson for 3. In and out. Anderson now gets it out to Nash Anderson. Or Hayden Anderson, I beg your pardon. Colin Hansen, he's going to drive inside with the right-hand layup. Nice, tough move for Colin Hansen. And Larson will drive the baseline, kicks it back out to Toner. Nice backdoor cut by Bromley. And they're going to call it out off of Bromley, saying Kobe Goodfellow knocked it off of Bromley's chest. Tab Bank, home of the Tabs, Ben Rewards checking account with 2.75% annual percentage yield on your account balance and 1% cash back on eligible purchases. It's a big deal. Member FDIC. Caleb Anderson throws it away, and Hayden Anderson will make a play on Bromley. Bromley draws the foul, and he'll look for the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Asking counts for Bromley. The foul goes against Nash Lundberg. Bromley to line, shooting 1.
I think they meant to call that on Hayden Anderson.
Check that. The Alta foul goes against
Okay, they called it on Nash Lundberg, who's on the bench for the Hawks, but nice move by Tyson Bromley, and his free throw is off. but Carson Tovey gets it back and throws it out of bounds. 33-19 is the score, 5:32 left in the third. You know, I've been impressed with the defense of the Vikings, just communicating and moving everywhere and cutting off all the driving lanes, and the help and recovering is really good. But I do wonder if they have something with Hansen going downhill. Let's see what kind of offensive matchups they look for here. Goodfellow in the corner to Reber. Inside to Caleb Anderson. Kicks it out to Hayden Anderson for three, and it's long. Caleb Anderson with the board, and the Hawks will reset. And it's on over and back.
Backcourt, that's a turnover to the Vikings.
Zach Reber was looking for Kobe Goodfellow and just kind of rushed his pass. Nice offensive set there for the Hawks. Got a wide open three for Hayden Anderson, just couldn't knock it down. Bromley. To Larson, inside to Carson Tovey. Adam Henderson has it blocked by the Hawks. Nice defense there. Kobe Goodfellow will slowly bring it up. He goes around the screen of Colin Hansen, picks up his dribble, gets it back out to Zach Reber. Over to Hansen. Hansen drives the alley, kicks it out to Reber for three. Splash! Zach Reber with the three, and the Hawks are now within 11. Bromley out to Larson for three. Why not?
Jake Larson.
Jake Larson gets his three to go. And so the Vikings lead it 36-22.
There is a timeout on the floor. Timeout called by the Vikings.
That's the second three for Jake Larson, who's now in double figures with 10. And these are unofficial stats, but he's the first scorer tonight that will reach double digits, is Jake Larson for the Vikings. He had a three in the first quarter and a couple buckets, a couple twos, and then had that three. So, well, we all love spending time supporting our high school teams. Waddups Insurance Agency is the team that will support and help protect you. Whether it's your business, home, rental properties, cars, or recreational vehicles, Waddups Insurance Agency is the local insurance pro you can count on. Call or text them at 801-683-3663. Again, that's 801-683-3663 to evaluate your insurance program. Hansen on the right wing. Goes around the screen. Has to kick it back out to Caleb Anderson. So they work it around. Zach Reber saves it. Reber saves it. And Kobe Goodfellow is going to drive all the way. Gets it to Caleb Anderson. The bucket doesn't go, but he draws a foul. And they call that on Lucas Toner. So that's where I've actually seen the Hawks have success, is when they can get downhill, collapse the defense, and make a play out of that. They've gotten a couple of good looks. Caleb Anderson's first is no good. Credit to the Vikings, though, who have not allowed a lot of opportunities to, break the paint and have the defense collapse. Anderson's second is good. So Caleb Anderson gets his first bucket. And a little full court pressure applied by the Hawks. Just seeing if they can come up with some steals and get some easy points on their own end. Lucas Toner drives inside. Nice defense there by Austin Larson for the Hawks. Back to Toner in the right corner. Toner might have gone away with the travel. Inside to Adam Henderson. Push shot is good on the baseline. Adam Henderson, nice bucket for him. He caught that ball kind of moving on the baseline, kind of underneath. Nice finish there. To Reber for three, and it's up and over the backboard. Not a bad look for Zach Reber, just couldn't get it to go. And Beckham Welling is looking to check in, and they will let him.
Checking in for Beckham Welling.
So 38-23, 2:30 left in the third period. Adam Henderson over to Toner, back inside to Henderson. Nice play as he went around the screen and just cut to the hoop, and Toner found Adam Henderson for another bucket. And Austin Larson loses it, and they lead it out to Adam Henderson, who goes up with the right hand, and it's good. 3 straight buckets for Adam Henderson. And it's 42-23 for the Vikings, their largest lead of the game. Goodfellow. And a turnaround jump shot is off the mark for Beckham Welling. Toner to Carson Tobey for 3. And now the Vikings have a 22-point lead. And Coach Orrin wants to talk it over. So 45-23 in favor of the Vikings. 1:29 left in the third period, and we'll be back in just a moment on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back to the Rewind Sports Network. We're here at Viewmont High School, and the Hawks have their work cut out for them as they trail 45-23 with 1:24 left in the third. Nash Lundberg out to Hayden Anderson, who tried to find Beckham Welling. He was open underneath, just couldn't handle the pass. Tyson Bromley now out to Will Warden. So they work it around the horn. Inside, Tyson Bromley was looking for a cutting Carson Tobey, and just out of his hands, turnover for the Vikings. Number 21, Zach Taylor, seeing his first action tonight for the Vikings. Hayden Anderson gets it over to Welling. And a 3 for Larson is good. Austin Larson gets his first points of the game, actually. Nice shot there for Austin Larson. And about a 6-second difference between shot clock and game clock, maybe 5.5 seconds. So Bromley's going to hold it to try and get the final shot. And he'll probably make his action now with 7 seconds on the shot clock now. Bromley has got to put up something. He goes for 3, and it's long. And surprised there wasn't a foul there. A loose ball now. That shot was no good for Will Warden. And that'll do it for the third quarter. So 45-26 in favor of the Vikings. We'll be back in just a moment on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back to the Rewind Sports Network as the Hawks trail it 45-26 against the Vikings. So the Vikings outscored the Hawks 14-9 in that period. Hayden Anderson on the right wing. He's going to drive the alley and has it tipped away by Ammon Erickson. Nice defense there for the big man. And driving baseline, reverse shot is no good. Ammon Erickson gets it. That shot was Zendon Wilson. And Nash Lundberg picks up the ball for the Hawks. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson goes up with the long arms and gets the bucket to go. Hayden Anderson. This is unofficial, but I have that as his first bucket. Zendon Wilson gets it back out to Will Warden. Inside to Erickson. Erickson going to use that strength down low. Goes up with the left hand. Oh, got it over the outstretched arms of Beckham Welling. Ammon Erickson gets himself on the board. And Colin Hansen gets a bucket as well. So Colin Hansen now has 8. And an open 3 for Wilson, and it's long. Hansen gets it, pulls it away, and he'll find for the open layup, number 25, Kingston Brown, his 5th point. So a couple stops and a couple of open looks goes down for the Hawks. They trail at 47-32, 6:15 left in the game. Erickson with the push shot, it's off. And Warden now will get it for 3. True! And the Vikings get another 3. So now the Vikings lead at 50-32, 6:06 left in the game. The Vikings have just been dangerous from downtown. They've got 8 threes in this game. Again, this is unofficial, but hard to overcome when a team is lighting it up from downtown. But give credit to the Vikings who have found the open man and have executed well offensively. And we'll see what Coach Orn the message has just got to be just find some consistency. See if you can give yourself make a little run. If not, build into the next game. So checking in for the first time is Bronson Schriever for the Hawks. Over to Nash Lundberg on the right wing. Lundberg's going to drive all the way to the hoop. Right-hand layup is good. Lucas Toner was giving him that lane. I think he was expecting help, and it never came. And they're going to call Bromley out on the baseline. Kobe Goodfellow will check back in for the Hawks, along with Jake Larson for the Vikings. And the three-point shot is off for Hayden Anderson, and a fight for the board. Bromley gets it for the Vikings. And the Vikings will set up their offense. Tovey for 3 in the corner is off. And a fight for the rebound, and Larson gets it for the Vikings. Opportunity here for the Vikings, and Lundberg gets the steal. Nice defense there by the Hawks. Good recovery. And are they going to call a jump ball or a foul? It looks like the official's calling a foul. Indeed they do on Tyson Bromley. That's his 4th. So he'll take a break. And Brett Tovey will check in for the Vikings. And they get it out to Goodfellow. Goodfellow for three. It's short. And Vikings will set it up. They lead at 50-34. 4:45 left in the fourth. And the three-point shot is no good for Brett Tovey. And Kobe Goodfellow gets the board and finds Hayden Anderson underneath. Nice shot for Hayden Anderson. Nice find by Kobe Goodfellow. 50-36. 4:15 left in the fourth. Lucas Toner hands it off to Brett Tovey. So they work it back around to Toner. Carson Tovey now to Larson. Inside, Brett Tovey gets it out to Toner. Toner's going to drive inside, and Hansen, just trying to prevent the pass to Larson, bumps into Lucas Toner. So Colin Hansen will pick up his first. And Lucas Toner will shoot two. And the first one rims out. And the second one is no good as well. And it looked like it was off Hayden Anderson. Anderson can't believe it. It did look like it was off of him from my angle, but I was obviously not nearly as close as the sideline official was, and obviously Anderson. Adam Henderson to Carson Tovey. Hands it over to Toner. As they work it around the three-point line again. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Toner will let it reset. He'll go around the. Toner will go around the screen of Henderson, and Brett Tovey open for three, and it's money. Nice shot for Brett Tovey. A good execution there by the Vikings. Toner just made the right read. And Nash Lundberg using his strength to go inside. He'll look for a three-point play the old-fashioned way. And that'll be Lucas Toner's third. Lundberg now has 8 for the Hawks. .306 left. And that free throw is good. So it is 53-39 in favor of the Vikings. Oh, I thought Nash Lundberg could have gotten that steal there. Toner will kick it back out to Henderson. And the Vikings will set up their offense. Kick in the corner to Carson Tovey. He drives the baseline. They're going to call Hansen with a blocking foul. That's his second. But that is only the second team foul, and it was not in the act of shooting, so the Vikings will take it out on the side or baseline. They're going to call a foul on. Yeah, they'll call that on Kobe Goodfellow. His third and the third team foul. 2:43 left in this game. The Vikings lead at 53-39. And they'll pass it in the backcourt to Bromley, who's got 4 fouls. And nice steal by Nash Lundberg, but a loose ball goes over to, I thought actually Carson Tovey had it, but he gets it back. Yeah, there was another shot clock issue. I actually thought Carson Tovey had the layup there, just didn't take it. Trying to make a play. You'll notice that the Vikings work it around the perimeter and find an advantage through a drive and kick, and there's just like that. Lucas Toner finds Adam Henderson, who now has 12. Kobe Goodfellow fakes the three, gets it out to Lundberg. Nash Lundberg will go inside, and he draws a foul. They're going to call that on Henderson. If so, that'll be his fourth. No. They'll call that on Carson Tovey. So Nash Lundberg will get a couple of free throws. He's got 4 in this period, 8 overall. And the first free throw is long. Checking in for the Vikings is Garrick Lee. Lundberg will get a second, and that's long as well. And they're going to call a foul. Are they going to call that on? Oh, they do call that on Goodfellow. That's his fourth. Bromley calmly sets up the offense after the pressure. Nice ball handling there by Tyson Bromley. Lucas Toner now. To Lee, out to Carson Tovey. Bromley for 3, and it's long. And Austin Larson gets the board. Nash Lundberg going to drive inside and was looking for Beckham Welling. And I thought that was off of Welling's foot, but both officials saying that it was off the Vikings. Kobe Goodfellow, nice switch there. Kobe Goodfellow will get a look from 3. Splash!
3-pointer for Goodfellow. Less than 1 minute remaining in the game.
Yep, 55 seconds left in the game. And the Vikings lead it 55-42. And Tyson Bromley will step up to shoot a couple free throws as that foul puts the Hawks in the bonus, or the Vikings in the bonus.
At the line for Viewmont, Tyson Bromley shoots 2.
And the first rolls off the rim. Bromley, who has 7 in this game, looking for his 8th, and he gets it that time. So 50 seconds left now. Welling, inside reverse layup is off, and Adam Henderson might pick up his 4th. So Beckham Welling will get a couple free throws. And the first is off. 44 seconds left. The Hawks lead, or the Hawks trail the Vikings 56-42, and both free throws are off for Beckham Welling. Tyson Bromley will cross the timeline. And they'll just use the clock. And surprised they're not calling something there with 5 seconds or a foul. And Bromley says, all right, I'll just take it to the hoop then. He's now in double figures with 10. 58-42. Down to Beckham Welling, who can't get his bucket to go, and that'll do it. Viewmont wins it 58-42 over the Alta Hawks. So the Hawks will drop to 11-8 overall and 4-6 in region play. And the Vikings will jump to 9-10 overall and 4-6 in region play. So they have now an identical record in region 6 with the Hawks. Leading scorer for the Hawks, I believe that's going to be Colin Hansen and Nash Lundberg. And for the Vikings, we've got a lot of players, and we got a few players in double figures. Tyson Bromley gets 10. Jake Larson with 10. And Adam Henderson has 10 as well. So that'll do it for us here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSL Sports. Thanks for joining us again. The Vikings win it 58-42 over the Alta Hawks.